Good evening, everybody. We're gonna start today's Lynn Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for August 5th, 7 p.m. at Lynn City Hall. If we can have a roll call, please, of all the members.
Member Rossi? Absent. Member Gilring? Member Perez?
Present.
Member Christopher?
Here.
Member Olson?
Present.
Member Maggio?
Present.
Member Crowitz?
Present.
Member Lopez Hernandez?
Present. Right, we have a quorum. Before we start today's business, we will be reviewing the minutes. If there are any changes to the meeting minutes from our last meeting, if there aren't any, I would entertain a motion to approve them. Is there any motion on the table for approving them?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. We can get with tonight's meeting. We have two cases. First one that we will be reading is case number 10114.
Is he here?
Here? Where is the street? Here? Okay. We'll have the reading of the case.
33 Murray's.
Okay, 33 Murray Street. Yeah, here it is. 33 Murray Street, Lynn, Massachusetts, parcel number 037-272-025. Balaji Odusana, 33 Murray Street, Lynn, Massachusetts, zoning board, case 10114. To vary pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30, Section 10, the provisions of the City of Lynn Zone Ordinance to allow for the alteration of a building to add a full second floor to the structure. This alteration requires a dimensional variance as the structure will exceed the maximum height within the front and side yard setback areas as permitted under City of Lynn Zone Ordinance. The petitioner may also require variances related to impervious lot coverage and floor area ratio. The plans submitted with the application do not show impervious lot coverage and floor area ratio. The variance request requires the Zoning Board of Appeals to specifically find the owing to circumstances relating to the soil condition, shape, or topography of such land or structures, and especially affecting such land or structures, but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located. A literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the petitioner, and that desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of such ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. If we can have introductions from the petitioner.
Sorry about earlier. I didn't know you were referring to me. So essentially, I bought a home last October.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Of
course.
Name and address,
Let's see, we
please.
need your name and address.
Sure. Okay. So my first name is Balaji, last name Odutanya. Currently reside at 23 Murray Street, petitioning for 33 Murray Street.
Okay. Thank you.
So I lived on the street my entire life, from here. Bought a house that's 33, a couple of houses down from where I grew up. And I bought it last October. And the provision, like the deal was that she was supposed to leave the next month, but she actually ended up staying an extra 6 months. So that prolonged everything. So as soon as she was able to leave, she wasn't a hoarder, so I had to clear out the house, which took more time and finances. So by the time she was done, I was able to clean out the home. I got an architect to come down, and he gave me preliminary, just 3D drawings to just show me the design. So I brought that here to the building department, and I spoke to a specific inspector, and he said because the home was built in 1910, before 1926, that those plans are valid and should be approved. So then I started the process to get the full architectural drawing with the framing and everything, with the structural engineer to stamp it. and I also submitted a zoning determination request. And as I was waiting for that, I finally found out a month later that they couldn't answer those requests for that month of June because they were deciding on a specific zoning provision that now doesn't allow me to do what was planned. So I had paid a lot of money to get these plans, and if she had left on time and I started this maybe just like a week or two prior, it would have been approved. But now I need a variance, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? I have a question. So is this accurate that before the new zoning, it would have been a by right development? Okay.
And I haven't seen the pictures. Could I, is that what you're holding?
So yeah, so these are the full architectural plans that I brought that has like the framing.
Oh, here.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I just took pictures of like the setback where it was close. That's what I was told to take pictures of, but not the full house.
Great. Any questions from the board related to the petition?
So what is the current square footage of the house?
So with the downstairs and upstairs, it's about just right under 850 square feet.
So that was with, you mean like the basement in the?
No, just like the first level. So it has a second level already,
Okay.
but it's a lot smaller than the first floor. So all I want to do is do the same exact size on the first floor and the second floor.
Okay,
So
so now I understand.
So it's a 1.5-story house currently?
Correct, yes.
You want to make it a full 2-story? Is that?
It's going to be 2 stories, yes. So there's like 2 bump outs in the home, one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah.
So we would be building on those bump outs and then connecting it with the existing second floor.
Okay,
Yeah.
You got it.
yeah, it's a extremely gabled roof.
So the footprint of the house isn't changing at all?
No, we're not moving the foundation at all. No.
Yeah.
And I also have signatures. I got signatures from my neighbors because they all want me to get this.
You can submit those just to have them on the record if you're okay
Okay.
with that.
Yeah. That's why I got it.
Just manage.
Perfect, thank you so
Have
much.
those.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions from the board?
How tall is the building? How tall is the peak of the house? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I do have the full architectural plans here. I don't mind leaving it if you want it. If you want them?
No, it should.
No. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know the actual. I don't know. the
Just
picture.
look at it and we'll give it back to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be on the elevation. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, yeah.
So when you're done, it's gonna be how many, is it gonna be 3 bedrooms?
So currently, right now, it's only a 1-bedroom. And I have 2 kids, so that's just not gonna be. No, it's not. So yeah. So it will be 3 bedrooms after this, which would be enough for me and my family. Yeah.
So it looks like the total house of the proposed house from the ground to the peak of the roof is gonna be 3311? 33, yeah, okay. And
33.2.
anyone, take a peek, but there's a picture of the existing house in there.
Okay, that's what I thought, okay.
No.
Don't ground.
I only asked for the. It looked like it was under the 35.
Right.
Which is.
With the current zoning, that's the maximum, 35?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What keeping the jump?
it is a pretty,
Keeping.
Yes.
It seems like setbacks and lot coverage
Gotcha.
because of the,
I said the lot, but that is not changing anything.
so there's a deck in the back and then there's an accessory building. Is that a garage? What is that?
Yeah. There's already a pre-existing garage that's already there.
Existing,
Yeah.
that has solar on it?
It does.
Yeah, okay. So that's not gonna change?
No.
No, okay. got it.
no change on the footprint, lot stays the same. Lot coverage stays the same since there's no changes to the footprints.
Going to 2 bathrooms too, one upstairs and downstairs.
So yes, it's going to be 2. There's 1 downstairs and there's 1 upstairs already. So there will be another one added
So you're doing 3?
in total. Yeah.
Total.
So it will be 2.5. The one downstairs doesn't have a shower,
Okay.
but 2 full bathrooms upstairs.
Any further questions?
I don't.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Leave that or?
No, you can take it. I think we got something in the file.
Yeah, we got some. Anybody else here who would like to speak in favor of the petition? Anybody else here who would like to speak in favor? All right. moving along, anybody else here who would like to speak against the petition? Anybody who would like to speak against? Seeing none, what is the wish of the board?
I'd like to make a motion to grant.
All right, we have a second from member Maggio. Motion from Mr. Olson. We can have a roll call.
Member Maggio to grant?
Is to grant.
Member Christopher to grant?
Yes.
Member, Olson to grant?
Yes, to grant.
Member Crowers to grant?
Yes, to grant.
And Member Lopez Hernandez to grant.
Yes to grant. All right, that's all. Okay, have a good night. You don't have to stay for the whole of it. All right. We have one more case tonight. We'll be reading for 820 Boston Street. If we can have a reading, and we will start.
Yes, case number, well, let's see, zoning number 10115, 820 Boston Street, Lynn, Massachusetts, parcel number 004318008. Petitioner Irving Development LLC, Jason Irving, manager, 30 Rear South Terrace, Beverly, Mass. 0191155. Its attorney, Lisa J. McCloy, to permit pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 6, and City of Lynn Zone Ordinance, Section 5, the alteration of a building with one commercial unit and 3 residential units to a 4-unit residential dwelling with no commercial use. Finding that such a change in use is not substantially more detrimental in effect to the neighborhood, Mass General Law, Chapter 30, Section 6 states, pre-existing non-conforming structures or uses may be extended or altered, provided that no such extension or alteration shall be permitted unless there is a finding by the permit granting authority that such change, extension, or alteration shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conforming use of the neighborhood. The petitioner may require multiple dimensional variances pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 10, for front setback, side setback, subavide setback, and potentially impervious lot coverage and floor area ratio. The plans submitted with the application do not show compliance with these dimensional requirements of the City of Lynn Zone Ordinance. A variance request requires that the Zoning Board of Appeals to specifically find the owing to circumstances related to soil conditions, shape, or topography of such land or structures, and especially affecting such land or structures, may not affect generally the zoning district in which it is located. A literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the petitioner, and that desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of such ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. Before we start, we also have a communication from City Council, Council President Walsh. If we can have a reading of that communication.
Yeah, we have a letter here to the chair, Zoning Board of Appeals, for the 820 Boston Street case number 10115. Dear Chairman, as you are aware, I am the duly elected Ward 7 City Councilor for the City of Lynn and also serve as Council President. The owner of 820 Boston Street has applied for permission to convert a structure that currently has one commercial unit with 3 residential units to a structure housing 4 residential units with no commercial space. I generally am in favor of this petition. 820 Boston Street is one of the first buildings a visitor sees driving into Lynn from Saugus. I believe that it is imperative that the structure look visually appealing and not out of place with the surrounding neighborhood. I have reviewed the plans and am satisfied that as designed, this structure will be visually appealing. However, should the developer decide to remove windows on the first floor, such an alteration would render the structure inconsistent with the neighborhood and visually unattractive. I therefore request that the Zoning Board of Appeals approve said petition, provided that a stipulation be added that the petitioner may not deviate from the exterior building plans submitted to the board. Thank you for your consideration of this matter. John M. Walsh Jr., Council President.
Thank you. All right. We can hear from the petitioner.
Good morning. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Lisa McGloin. I represent Jason Irving and Irving Development, who's the developer who purchased this building back in 2023. We've been working with Councilman Ward to try and develop this parcel of property, which has been dilapidated for quite some time. I think if any of you, or many of you have probably seen it, it's been boarded up. Here, at one point, there was a barber shop in that unit. I spoke to the fellows across the street at the Town Line Service, and then Bianchi's Pizza bought this, and then there was a family dispute, and I guess they stopped using the property and sold it. We're before you here today seeking to convert this into 4 condominium units or 4 apartment units. For 3 of them will have 2 bedrooms, and the 4th will have 3 bedrooms. There's parking in the back of the property. The property is configured as such that it's an irregular shaped lot, going back to the zoning questions of dimensional relief. And I believe that we're not changing anything dimensionally whatsoever. Whatever is there is there. So in order to do anything, it would be a hardship for anyone to develop this property with respect to the dimensional portion. With respect to the relief of the special permit, all we're seeking is to make that one commercial unit into another residential unit so that it's consistent with the neighborhood. There's several residences down there. It's a great area right near the bus line to have people be able to live in that small business community that's developing down there on the Lynn Saugus line. In fact, I grew up down at Fenton Ave. I used to walk by this every day. Going to the convenience store or the Dairy Barn ice cream shop. So I think it's a great area to continue to develop and grow, and certainly anything that was done there would be an improvement. But I think Mr. Irving's put forth some great plans here to make 4 residential units that are proposed and supported by Councilman Walsh.
Okay. Thank you. Questions, comments from the board?
Just, Mr. Walsh had a concern about windows. Can you speak to that?
Certainly, the plan, I spoke to Councilman Walsh on the phone. The plan currently has windows on the front. They've actually, the new plans have added one window to the top of the building, which isn't existing. These 2 windows are current, and then there's 2 windows here that are current. So the design does call for those. Councilman Walsh and I spoke. I haven't mentioned this to my client. My client plans on developing it as this, but he indicated that even if these were, how should we say it? I don't want to call them fake windows, but if they were the decorative windows as opposed to operational windows, he would be in support of it. It's merely for aesthetics for the outside. And he thought that, maybe someone living in there may feel uncomfortable with it. So at least if there's an aesthetic window on there, he'd be happy with it. As opposed to a functional window. But that's what he's looking at for in the S area.
Egress for fire purposes.
There is a means of egress in the middle here.
Yeah.
Correct.
Enough window space to meet the codes.
Correct. Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we'll make a stipulation that there be some aesthetic.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't hear you.
So that there should be stipulation may not deviate from the exterior of the building plan submitted to the board that show window treatments in the front, windows in the front.
Okay.
Exterior.
Can you speak to the basement? What is being envisioned for the basement?
The front part of the basement is foundation. So if you look at the plans that were submitted, it's essentially unexcavated in the front portion. And the back portion, there's a basement with a, just kind of a utility type room in it. It's unfinished.
Okay.
So there's nothing that's being finished in the basement.
So nobody's living in the basement.
There's no living space whatsoever in the basement. The first and second units are on the first floor, and the second floor has the third and fourth unit, and the third floor which is just in the rear, is an extension of the third unit. So there's only, I think, one bedroom up on that third floor.
For these 4 units, are the utilities or any of the other related infrastructure there in the basement located and are going to be there? In the units respectively? Okay.
Right, and the reason we're asking is because it is in a floodplain.
Yeah.
So we're concerned about people living in the basement.
Yeah, or having utilities or critical, not elevated from the ground. Okay. Great. Gotcha. Awesome.
So the parking's out back. What is the current situation with parking? Is it all paved? Are you adding pavement?
It is all paved, there's no change, and I do believe that the newest plans that were submitted do set forth that it's 65%, not 70% on the impervious
The
lot
entire lot.
coverage.
For the entire lot?
For the entire lot, yeah. Because there's a lot of shrubbery and greenery in here.
Okay, so you don't need a variance on the impervious?
Not according to the architect's numbers. It's at 65, and it says there's no change from the we're not changing the existing building at all.
Okay, and not changing the paved area as
We're
well?
not changing the paved areas.
So just are you making improvements to it? or-
Well, you're changing the building and then you're adding bedrooms, so that's
Interior.
more parking, which changes the exterior, so.
The parking's already there. There's
Okay.
a lot that there's a long driveway that already goes down, and there's already parking spaces there. We're probably just numbering them more.
And it's sufficient for the amount of units that are being proposed.
We have an extra parking spot, I believe.
Okay. Very good.
Any other questions, comments from the board? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We will continue on. Anybody else here in attendance that would like to speak in favor of the petition? Anybody would like to speak in favor? All right. Anybody who is here in attendance against the petition? Anybody who would like to speak against the petition? All right. What is the wish of the board?
Motion to grant with the stipulation as stated for the windows at the front exterior.
I'll second that.
Right. We can have a roll call.
With the stipulation about, the windows being submitted to the board for the right.
Just a quick question for Attorney Lamanna. Is commercial space there now? If they give up that commercial space, that goes away, they'd have to come back for a change of use. And would that change of use under the new regs require a special permit?
That's my understanding, right? We'd have to come back for permission to want to go back to the county.
Yeah, so that would be a city council vote for that type of.
That's my understanding.
To currently have it all residential, does the petitioner have to go to city council or no? Okay, no.
So just so you're aware, if you decide to put any commercial space back, you're gonna have to go to city council and request a special permit. It's a little bit more rigorous process. So you'll be giving up that right on the property.
Roll call. Member Christopher?
Yes, to grant.
Member Maggio?
Yes, the grant.
Member Olson?
Yes, to grant as stipulated.
Yes. Member Crowitz?
Yes, the grant was different.
And Member Lopez Hernandez?
Yes, to grant with stipulations. All right, we're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
By the way, I personally looked into your development company, and I want to thank you for all the good work that you did. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. If there isn't anything else, business from the board, just an FYI, we have a virtual public meeting where we will have a presentation later this month on the new zoning code. Other than that, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, all those say aye. Aye. We're done.